good evening, folks. Samson to Library Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again for tuning into Library Public Radio. For some reason, our voice is kind of delayed here this afternoon, but I think we're doing fine. It's a blessing to open your show and look on the side and see your sister picture. That's very good. I started looking at my sister picture, and I'm very happy about that. Good evening, my son. Thank you. All right, folks, safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us here. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless us. Give us wisdom. Give us wisdom as we open our mouth here again tonight to discuss what is important. We think is important to our people. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless us. As things come out of our mouth, we ask you, my Lord, to guide it. Whatever comes out of our mouth must be worthy of the people that are listening. And we ask you, my Lord, you shouldn't allow us to say just about anything. Guide our thoughts. We ask you for your continued blessing. We ask you for your continued blessing. We ask you for your continued protection. Without you, we won't be here. Only through you that we're here. Can you imagine if men were in control of what Samson Toe is doing day in, day out? With my big mouth? Oh, my Lord, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your blessing. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the blessing of all my family members, friends, brothers, and sisters all over the world. I want to thank you for your blessing. Lord, we ask you to bless the country of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leaders to do what is good for our people. Bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, folks, Samson to Library Public Radio. We're on a different platform here tonight. So our group will be with us here tomorrow, where we will have Sissy, Jonathan, and George. They will be my guests here. These are young intellectuals, as I refer to them, very, very capable of discussing Liberian issue, truthfully, intellectually, and stimulates the conversation as well. I believe that. I believe it, and I think if you follow us tomorrow night, you will truly enjoy the conversation, because we will be in control, and we're not going to get off any kinds of strict here tonight, tomorrow night. We will be strictly guided by the thought of our brothers and sisters as we deal with each other. We will be respectful to each other's view. We will not discard each other's view. We might not agree with it, but we'll be respectful. And that's what we do here on Library Public Radio. We criticize, but we do it with responsibility. We criticize, but we do so with respect. We're not doing it in any form or whatsoever of hate. There's no hate here. And we're not a praise singer either. We're not here to say, oh, I like the person. No. If I like them, many of you have heard me before. In as much as I admire Dr. Baka, I give him Dr. Baka, by the way. I never one day, if I see Dr. Baka, if I hear Dr. Baka, if I feel Dr. Baka have done something that is not in the interest, according to me, in the interest of the Liberian people, I will say so. Think about it. Your hey fame, my hey fame, what do you do to me? Nothing. I block you. You can do nothing to me. So from there, we want to be truthful. As we open this line and open the camera and looking at you, and hopefully those of you that are watching us, not that you don't have important things to do, but why should I come here just because I want to please certain people and say something that I know very well I'm not for it, and I know it's not to be truth at all? Then I would say it just because I want to please people. I would say it because people hate certain people, therefore I should fuck. No, I'm not going to do that. And that's why when I come on here, I say I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be truthful. And those of you who believe in truth, whether you accept it or not, that's what I believe. That's my opinion. And many of you follow us here, and you have that responsibility as well, to allow us to express ourselves freely. You can disagree with us, but to get to a lower point of insult, then there's no reason for you to have conversation with us. We can come out here with no viewer. We'll still do it. It's our responsibility. But those of you that stick with us, we say thank you. We appreciate it. And because of you, sometimes even if we're tired, we still come on. Because we know one or two of you will follow. And I want to thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. Well, then I in total, your audio is bad, my man, because my audio here is good. The liberal audio here is good. So please don't bring out total business. I'm not in total tonight. Okay, folks, let's get started here. I have two things on my plate tonight. I said two, but I put up 4 fingers. That's the engineer for you. I enjoy myself sometimes, folks. No, but seriously, I have two things here tonight that I'm going to be discussing. Briefly. The people who are building Rowell Highway, they better prepare themselves, because I'm getting ready to go deep. And once I get the kinds of documents, I got a few documents already. Once I have the rest of it come through from our reporter over there on the ground, I will go deep into it, engineering. Because they're making a mess of the road. These people are constructing they're making a mess of the road. It's not that it cannot be fixed, but it's going to be double the money. Why do you have people who have no capability of doing road and you have them fixing road and damaging the road in the process? So that anybody that comes out to try to fix it, they're going to find it twice as difficult as it is now. Why will you get people that will come in and do road construction that have nothing whatsoever to offer? And we'll point that out tonight. My goodness, this is 2022, for Christ's sake. And the people are still using bamboo to direct traffic in Liberia. What a shameful business. What a ridiculous asset of the people try to employ. Well, I've always said you can utilize the local material. I say that. But not in this fashion. You can use bamboo for road construction. Yes, definitely you can do that. But to stabilize the road, not to direct traffic. We're going to be quiet until somebody die on our road. For what? For what? Because of the in-depth behavior of whoever is in control. Now that McGill is no longer calling the shot according to the report. They are now fixing things. They are now coming along because people are telling them, if you don't fix it, we'll take it higher up. And the contractor is now putting their act together because McGill is not calling the shot anymore, according to the story. I don't know how true that is. But let's start. Folks, this is just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. Samson, I got so excited I went over my usual stuff. So, but anyway, it's not late yet. It's not late yet. Let's get started here. Samson told LeBron Public Radio, and this is how we start our show. The President of the Republic of Liberia, duly elected, 61.5% of the vote. He said, but they said who that? He said, I mean, they said, what your name? He said, but me, Ambassador, we are. They said, what you want? You're having conversation with Liberian people, folks. I'm not crazy. I'm just saying, yeah, well, you can call me crazy if you want. This up to you. He said, what you want? He said, I want to be a president. They say you ever, he said, yeah, they say we know you good football player up here. But you ever then when you said, my people, I can do it. They say you sure? He said, yeah, Samson told on the other hand, you're on Liberia Public Road. Day in, day out, my people, your money for the main power. They may know nothing. They may will set up by your money gain position. Oh, my people, I beg you. Liberian people say, look, Mr. Toll, thank you very much. We appreciate your effort. But this is the person we want. Come back to us in 6 years and make your case. And Dr. Weah will come back to us in 6 years and make his case as well. And if we believe Dr. Weah has delivered on many of his promises, we'll put him back in there. And this is the democracy that people die for. One man, one vote. Who am I to disagree with that? I call myself a progressive, liberal progressive, and I'm going to sit on the platform here and say, yeah, even if the Liberian people are suffering, yeah, your call, you bring it on yourself. Look at your vote. Who am I to say that? I need to put the binder of error that I have here from the CDC-led government. My job is to remind the Liberian people the unforced error from the CDC-led government. That's my job. My job is to come out here. As the campaign starts, I will come out and make my case. The Liberian people, through the Constitution, allowed me that opportunity to make my case. In as much as I won't want anybody to re-elect Dr. Weah and his people. However, At this time, at this point, he's my president. President of the Republic of Liberia. The respect of that office sits on him. I respect him as a human being. I also respect him as president. I will criticize, but I will do so with respect. I will criticize, but I will do so with responsibility. I'm not going to come into this position with hate, because hate carries you nowhere. In fact, if you come into this kind of political discussion with hate, the hate will blind you so much that your thought will be distracted and you will not be able to convey your message effectively. And this is what I try to avoid. As a liberal progressive, when I get behind this mic, I try to do my best to avoid all hatred in me against anybody, specifically Liberian politicians. But from time to time, these people can beg people to hate them. The way they behave, they can beg people to hate them. But you have to be responsible. You have to stay on message. Don't let them knock you off of your message. And this is what I do. This is the president of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah, very young, very young. And when he came to this position, there were a few things he had in mind, which one of them was rural connectivity. This is where sometimes I don't regret, but I feel bad for myself. I wish that I've gotten closer to CDC and sedition specifically, even if I don't like any other policy, but I should be involved with their rural connectivity business. Because the people that are there right now, they are smart though, don't get me wrong, highly educated. Because I saw them. I was in Liberia and I attended Liberian Engineering Society convention where many of these people that are responsible for the mess were there. And when they spoke, intellectually, you can tell that these people were true engineers. They know exactly what they're doing. But when it comes to the application part of it, I don't know what happened. I don't know what the disconnect is between their engineering training and the application of their engineering training. I don't know what happened because they're making a mess out of everything else. And this is why I also don't regret, because I don't think I would have lasted. The fact that I'm an engineer, and if I were to be in there and have somebody to say, do this, and I'll tell the person, you know what, forget it. I'll go any part of the world and make money. And make money. I don't need to stay in Liberia. I will move. I'm not going to compromise my engineering principle. No way. No way. Because here's the thing. I'm an engineer, and I've been reviewing other engineers' work in Liberia, specifically from public work. And I'm making these kinds of statements because of some of the reviews that I have. And I see some of these people's name on these papers. And these people, when you have a conversation, one-on-one conversation with them, from an engineering standpoint, you know they have hair on their shoulder. No question asked. But what happened to the application that things are so bad in our country? And these people, master degree in civil engineering, and yet still, they just sit there, fold their arms, and just take their money, their paycheck, and that's it. What happened to tomorrow? This is ridiculous. And for that, I'm not regretting anything, me not being with them. However, as somebody from Liberia, I wish I was part of them so I can be involved in the rural connectivity business with Dr. Weah. That's our president, Dr. Weah. And now let me go now to start with the inspirational process of the evening, folks. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. Let me go. In fact, let's do this. Yes, let's do this. This is the president. Where's my stuff? What? Did I move it? Are you kidding me? It's my inspiration. Here is the president. Oh, you mean the whole time we're talking, showing you president? There was no picture of the president? My goodness. Samson told you're not quite ready for the show tonight. I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I don't. You have Of Liberia, folks. And I'm not able to show the president on the screen. My president, duly elected, 61.5% of the vote. And I'm discussing the president, and I'm not able to show the president. What a blunder on my part tonight. I hope this is not going to be happening anymore. This is my president. This is our president. This is your president. Like it or not, he is your president. The Republic of Liberia, President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah. Let me now go on. So how did I get this so wrong like this? Wow, Samson. Are you sure tonight? I'm gonna try. Okay. So let me go on now. Let me go. I said inspiration. I'm going falling all over this place tonight. Okay. It's a holiday. What you expect? They're not King Jews here. They're not King Jews. Don't think that King Jews I made mistake. Purely making mistake. Ain't got nothing to do with King Jews or anything. All right, let me go on. Got many of you were ready to think. Okay, let's go on now. Let's that's the president I just introduced. Now let's go to the inspirational part of this president. Dr. We are performing. I love this. Okay, all right. Let's start the process. So, Robert, folks, this is just so bad. If you're an engineer, construction engineer, civil engineer, roadway designer, if you look at this thing here, it's like the people are making fun of us. The construction people, what the heck is this? What is it? This is. I'll be careful here. I will try my best to not. Let me take this picture up and put this on, because I think this will, for you to see this here. What is this? What is this? What is it? What these people are trying to do to us? Is it because we're in Liberia, they just don't do it right? What the heck is it? So if you have a box cover with pipes in it, why is the water not flowing the way it's supposed to go? Are you telling me the water coming back this way? And if the water is coming back this, if the water is going to our left or towards the car, how do you drain it out of the hole? What kind of foolishness is this? But my understanding, McGill is not there now. They're trying to do better. A car fell in a hole. And I will show you these things here tonight. A car fell in a hole because there's nothing to protect the driver. I've been saying that from day one. But when you people send me those papers, for 1 month straight, I will be on it. 1 month straight. This is ridiculous. This is unacceptable. Because this is not how you're supposed to do work. How are you going to have a role like that? a building or construction road like that. You're supposed to build, there's supposed to be 4 lanes, they say. You damage the road. Half of the road is gone. The crossover that you suppose, look at that kind of crossover. Look at that kind of crossover. Almost like a 45-degree. And somebody coming from the other side, 45 degrees. What do you think? This is not the street of Monrovia. This is supposed to be a highway. This is, oh my goodness. What a shame. Public work, you guys have to be ashamed of yourself. Highly educated, minister of public work. When you listen to the woman speak, you'll be trimming. She's so smart. Why would she assign somebody on this kind of role? Because they said do so. Very intelligent people. They have my own friend over there working at the ministry as well. Very smart people. Good engineers. What is this? What kinds of recklessness is this? This is not engineering. This is not construction. Even people in Town will do better work than these so-called. But of course, East International, they are from China. If this kinds of mess were happening in any other country, they kick their company off the job by this time. There's no, remember they kicked them out? Banga, the citizens of Banga that have no knowledge of engineering, have no knowledge of construction, kicked them out. They kicked them out of Banga because they were doing such a bad job. Not even poor. Poor is better. Bad. How are you going to have a bus cover, supposedly bus cover? Okay? You put that kind of, oh my goodness. Look at it. Look at it. This is a joke. You know how much you're going to take to fill around that stuff? What is this? So their intent here is that, I feel bad for Ozo. Their intent here is that they put the nyama thing down there, and then, okay, these people, but I will deal with them next week. Let me get my picture there. I will deal with them next week because I'll have my ball. Oh, yeah. They put that junk over there like that. So the intent is, okay, now after they finish this, which is not going to finish properly, because you're not going to fill behind it, and you're not going to, and even if you try to bring the other one to join into it, it's going to be out of grade. You're not going to be able to join them together perfectly. It's not going to happen. Because here's the deal. These people are so stupid, I will use the word tonight. They are so stupid, it's unbelievable. That box cover you see over there, where the car's sitting in front of it, they will fill it in, and then they put car on that side so they can fix the other side. But as the car driving over it, what happened? The pressure, the wheel pressure, push that thing down and push it down, because they're not going to compact it properly when they put that stuff on there. And somebody told me there was a heated argument about this particular cover here. And McGill overruled it according to the person. This is just ridiculous. So now they're gonna fill it in and then put car over it so they can fix the other side. But the funny thing is this: from that place to the other side, you're gonna need another 2 or 3 more boxes like that. So they're gonna do it in stages. Something tall. Why the people can't get you for you to do the people thing for them? I'll just do one. Just one. Then I'll say, you'll follow it from here on. Bye. I'll come back to California. Because this is what I do every day. My goodness. I'm going to take this picture tomorrow for my guy from Congo, so he will laugh. And I'll share with my guy from Nigeria also. He will laugh. Well, they're all going to laugh. They say, but why you can't go and go help them? The people don't want me to help. They will continue to put a foot in their mouth, do ridiculous jobs like that. Rawafi Highway, the gateway to the country. You're going to have that kind of junk like that. So with your eyes now, you say, okay, Mr. So why the guy see anything? Why he fall in the hill like that? Let me show you. Folks, this is the problem we have. Let me now show you. You know what these things are? Oh, you see it, yeah. Yeah, now. You see the bamboo? You don't think that bamboo? Okay. If you don't think that bamboo, let me do it more. You don't think that bamboo? You see the stake? You see the flag thing they put up there? That's supposed to be the guide. So people will not fall in. At night, who's gonna see that kind of thing? At night. What even I call it Superman said you can't see it. Now let me show you. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea. They are doing the construction. Papua New Guinea. Okay. 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 Let me show you Papua New Guinea. They just as poor as we are. They are not super. But look. You see the bottom part here? You see the drum? You see the channelizer? Then you see the drum? Those things are not expensive. They are not expensive. All they want is just to steal and put money in their bank. Okay, if you're going to steal, invest. Buy into the country. Buy these things, subcontract them, rent them from you, or buy them from you. But they steal, they put it in their bank account. This is Papua New Guinea, though. They're not. You see the bamboo over there? What in the world you will use bamboo to direct traffic anymore? And they allow that. They allow that. These people allow this thing to happen. So when McGill got sanctioned recently and got suspended, this is what they're doing now. It's still not good, but at least. So according to the story, now these are the things they're putting in now. They're putting cones. But on the major, look at it. Let's. I'm laughing because it sounds funny, but it's very serious. Look how deep this part is. You see here? If any car comes and hit any of these drums, the men are coming out of this. Serious accident. So when you're doing this, day in, day out, you have to provide what they call flagger. Many of you in the United States, when you're driving at night, when the people are doing construction, they have flagger, 24-hour flagger. It costs money, but that's part of construction. So that the flagger, they stand there with their flag, with their signboard, says stop. They stop all the traffic that coming this way, coming towards me. They put their sign, stop it. While the other traffic behind me, they have a pilot car, goes over there, collect all the traffic, and come. And they're only supposed to be in that range for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, they keep you there. After 10 minutes, you can sue them. Because the rule, the AASHTO rule said 10 minutes, enough. After 10 minutes, you're supposed to go. But the point here is, you stop, flagger, they stop, then they're communicating with each other with their walkie-talkie. And so the other guy said, okay, it's time. The pilot cars, as soon as you grab the other people, they stop these people. Then the pilot car, all of you guys follow behind the pilot car, and the pilot car take you, and then you go your way. The pilot car, after a second time, the 10 minutes over, the pilot car pick the other people, and they keep going back and forth to avoid the kind of stuff. To avoid it. But for some reason, Liberian engineers, they're not even trying to implement any of the new safety rules. Not because you're in Liberia, therefore you're nothing good for you. Nothing good for you because you don't want nothing to be good for you. It only takes us as Liberians to actually do these kinds of stuff and improve the lives of our brothers and sisters. You can't just collect paycheck and sit down. This is unacceptable. But like I said, once I get these things that I'm trying to get, forget it. I'm not even going to join the FANSA 18. Let them go with their politics. I will be on the Ralphie Highway day in, day out. This is unacceptable because this is not election. This is not politics. From day one, I've been saying here, these people do not have the capacity to do these kinds of work. 4-lane. What are they trying to achieve? What are they trying to achieve? Okay? Let me show you what exactly they're trying to achieve. From the beginning, this is this committee. They told us that this is what they're trying to get. Do you see these people building this kind of team of people? I beg you, you'll be honest. You'll take out your CDC hat for 1 minute. What are people doing over there? You see them achieving these kinds of stuff? Light pole everywhere in the sidewalk, which is not quite correct. Okay, but I'm not going to fault that. That's fine with me. But have a medium. And out of I think what they have in there is a tri-beam. I don't see barrier. I see tri-beam. But 4-lane. Do you see these people from Ralphie, from EW Junction all the way to Ralphie? Do you see that kind of stuff? No. There's no way they're going to be. They can't even achieve in 1 lane, let alone 2, 4. Forget it. This is ridiculous. They're having issue with drainage right now. Where is the drainage guy on this project? They're all going to sit there and collect paycheck. My understanding is that they have 2 companies that are actually operating. This road was designed by I think Japanese company, and is being supervised by their help along with Korean, and the Chinese company is doing the construction. So when the Japanese guy said, no, this is not how to build it, you know what they do? The Chinese company, that little boy who owned that company, run to McGill. My understanding, McGill will call, according to the story, I don't know, I wasn't there, but according to what I've been hearing, McGill will call the Minister of Public Works, and they will pay them. And many of those people reject to say this is a bad job, you're not going to get paid until you fix it. Then they run up to McGill. McGill will call the people to pay them. But the fact that he's no longer there, my understanding, I just spoke with somebody today, and they said they're fixing it. They're fixing people. The company now see reason now to cooperate with the inspectors. But what kind of joke is that? McGill is not an engineer. McGill should be willing for people to do their engineering work. And this is what I say. If I was in Liberia, if I was involved, knowing what I did, it took me 5 years just to get my BS, my whatever nonsense degree I say I get. Then after that, I'm not even going to go there because I won't even cancel that people cleaning degree. That one, that people cleaning ain't nothing. So I'm not even counting that. But after I've gone through all of that, struggle. My mom, my father here, after I graduated, I took my degree and gave it to them. That is the most proud moment of my life. Immediately after the ceremony, I took that paper. It was empty though, because they send you the paper later. It was empty. I take that red, whatever they call it. I don't know what the name of it. Who cares? I'm out of that school. That's it. That's all I want. Where I get, where I ain't get, I don't care. They want to keep it, so they can keep it. I'm out of that. It was just too high. What kind of nonsense is that? I'm a man from Total. I use a big drum for girls to dance. Then when I go to class, the teacher telling me what to do. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of business is that? They can keep it saying, I don't care. But I'm done. Then I leave and go to Liberia and offer, I'm going to be having pay cut. Offer myself then somebody who has nothing to do with engineering, have no clue what the engineering process is. Then the person going to tell me, that ain't happening. Take your job, I'm out of here. That's it. I'm not going to fight with anybody because this is just ridiculous. So let's look at another stuff. Papua New Guinea. Okay, I'm showing you that, but next week when I'm ready for the show, okay, look at this here. You see here, you see what the people are trying to do? Most likely, it's a 2-lane, okay, let's just say 4-lane highway. But this is how you build construction road in stages. You see the rotor right there? You see the grader in front of the rotor? So what the people are doing, they're building that side. And the truck They're bringing the dirt. I love this here. You see let me zoom into that greater area there. See what the greater area is? You see what the people are doing? They're killing it to taking it back to zero. Let me show you. Let me show you. You see what you see here? At the highest super elevation. Okay? Well, it's not super. This is not super. I don't see it to be super. The curve. Let's just say curve. This is not super. Okay. At the curve here, what is greater what is that? I can't even see it. Oh, it's not even that's a front end loader. Sorry, front end loader. That's a front end loader. What a front end loader is right now, okay? That's the highest part of the roll. You see that little stick over there? That's a stick that tells you the elevation, the station, and the offset. Everything on that stick. So, but what I want to show you is this. You see what a truck is, and a grader? You see what a truck and a grader is? Behind the truck, they're taking this thing from a higher point, they're dropping it back to zero. Why you think that is? Why you think that is? Let me go back to this thing and bring it down to the point here. Look what we have. Look what we have. They're taking it to zero. You know why? Yeah, something to you. When it comes to engineering, you're not taking backseat to nobody. You know your team, my man. You know your job. You're going back to work again tomorrow again to bluff those people. They're from Total, they're not smart like you. All the people from Total, they're smart. They're rich people. The people, they ain't rich. I rich. Man, say I rich, but I'm going back to work again tomorrow to bluff them. They'll come back to me. Hey, Mr. Token. Hey, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm getting paid. But no, on a very serious note, why you think they're taking it from the high position behind where the front end loader and they're dropping it back to zero? Look at the tree line. Look at the tree line. You see how fresh that tree line is? Most likely, that is the drainage area. That is the drainage area. And so they're taking the water from the higher point and they're going to drop it into the lowest point. They're pretty much creating. They're pretty much. Let me go back here again. You see what I'm talking about? You see how high this point, what the front end loader is? You see how high it is? So from that front coming back towards us, the water coming this way. Going towards the grader, the water going that way. So that they will be able to drop the water over. And let me see if I'm wrong, I will eat crow. Who cares? You think I hear to come and say, oh, something to you, Sunday RPG. Wow! Look at that! Look! You see what I'm talking about? You see the bridge, little bridge stuff over there. That's the lowest part. That's the lowest part. But anyway, that's not what I want to show you. I'm just showing you something here very quickly. But that's not what I want to show you. Okay. Now that you see, and if I can go back into that, Mr. To, please go back. Yes, I will. All right. So if I can go back into this, and let me show you the reason why I brought this thing up. First of all, okay, let me show you the reason why I brought it up. Watch the way the building, you have 2 lane or 4 lane, whatever lane you want to call it, one coming, the other one going, okay? But what I want to show you here is the funny thing about this thing here is this, okay? I'm sorry, I will be going to, you just stay with me because I'll be going to the juicy part here later on. My brother Politics, the one all of your life, I'll be going to that later on. But this one is just ridiculous the way the people messing the Ralphie Highway construction up. I just want to bring that up. So now here is I just put you back to the people are building the 2 lane now. So you see how you do it in stages. You say, okay, in stages, you say the other side that the player will put the traffic. What our truck is, that the player will put all the traffic that come wherever they go. On the other side, they control it. But here's the interesting thing. If you look at the side slope, where the water comes from the new construction going to the old construction, over there they have a ditch. You can't see it, it's there, I can see it. Okay? They have a ditch, so there's no way water going to go across. But the water, as you can see, the water from that point where I just showed you, the water is coming towards us. And then they're building a new one to force the water to go back. Most likely, the cover where this truck facing that is receiving most of the water on the old road is not adequate enough. And now that they cannot resize it, they'll be able to resize the cover, but most likely, if you follow the contributing factors, the contributing area of that cover on this side. The things have changed. Most likely you have development. And if you do a contributing factor, the end factor for concrete, for cement, for roof is different from grass. So those, I'm not going to go into engineering with you this afternoon. But anyway, so now they say, okay, since we don't want to resize that, we'll leave it as it is. We'll just split the water. Let some go on that side, some come on the side. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? If we split the water, we can split the water anytime in total. What's wrong? But now let's look at Liberia. And these people are now serious. They're ridiculous in our country. They call themselves builders. Look at this. I just show you how you do staging. Now watch this. Serious problem. True story. This, my brothers and sisters, it's in Liberia. Right at EW Junction. If that truck coming over there, you think if he made mistake, he able to go back on the road, he will flip over. He will flip over. Why these people behaving towards us like this? As though we're nobody. As though we're nobody. They're smart. They know these things. They know. They know. Not that they don't know. They know. But they just don't want to implement this. And I'll tell you now, because the cat is getting ready to get out of bed. I will call somebody tonight and say, you ready for me now to talk about? I will not say all the secret. I will just open my mouth. So when I went home recently, a friend of mine called me to help me do some roadway design. So I went home. I was happy because it was in my backyard. So I was happy to do that. I went home and then I went to the ministry. I have conversation with the people. And the people were telling me, I'm not going to talk about it. Forget it. Forget it. There's no reason for it. I know who they are. But I just told the young man, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because who knows whoever's going to be reviewing my drawing in the future. I'm not going to do it. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm still here. But I'm not going to compromise safety. No. Can you imagine? You do a road design and somebody die on that road. Even if the future don't even know who you are, but you know that what you did is wrong. It's not into spec. And here in the United States, the people are upgrading their specs all the time. Why? This is the kind of thing our brothers and sisters back home don't think. The car, the road, that road they say they built over there during Madam Salif time. The road they say they improve it. They did not change the alignment. The curve that Tommy Bola died on, that same degree of curve stayed there. Nothing changed. Nothing. And the car Tommy Bola was driving those days, they are faster now than it was when Tommy Bola had that car. So why were you not? God is just, we're just wonderful. God is just wonderful to us, Liberians. God is just wonderful. Because if it wasn't for God, people would die every day. People would die every day. But God is just, we're the special one, we're chosen one. And I want to thank God for that. I want to thank God and say, Jesus, thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your blessings. Because why would you want to improve the road? And then you use the same alignment. The same curve remain the same. The same vertical curve remain the same. Nothing changed. You don't even provide super. One time a brother of Gibson Jeru, I know many of you know Gibson Jeru. So he was driving from Monroe going home. So he got on that highway. And he decided to do a little bit higher speed than what was required. He couldn't keep it. He has a yellow line in between his tires. Because even if you try to stay within the speed limit that is provided for you, you can't keep the road. Because it's bad. It's just bad. Just bad. And that's the road now from Monroe all the way to Ganta. That's the road people are going to be driving on for the next 50 years. They're not going to change their alignment. But then when the politician, I build you road. What road? Okay, Sour Road, that road. I got your junk, you put it down there, you call it road. Man, I beg you, man. I beg you, man. You're going to do it right. You see, this is what the limitation of our Liberian engineers and our Liberian policy makers. This is the limitation when it comes to road. You don't have to finish it. Your administration do not have to finish the road. Start the process. Especially the CDC is in control of the House of Representatives. Make the House to make it binding For the next person coming in, start the process correctly. And the next administration that's going to come in must be able to continue with the process. But it's a safe and good road. But they don't do that. Come and build a Nyama road, called Ralphie Highway, and they're going to give it to people. Look at Tower Hill. You look at them. Do you even see them cutting Tower Hill down? If you really want to build, that Tower Hill will be flattened. That thing is more than 12% grade. Where in the world, except for Speedway? No guy who can be the speed, except for that. Where in the world you will find 12 to 13% climbing hill? For what? Where in the world, what road in the world you will find 12 to 13, a decent modern road to find 12 to 13% climbing? If you're going to do that, what you need to do then is you provide truck climbing. So the truck on the side, the people who's speeding will be quite ready to do that 12 to 13%. But then you provide truck climbing on the side. So the truck with their slow speed will continue to go. So even if they break down, they can still come back on that safe side of the road. But you put everybody together, then you wonder why people are dying. What a ridiculous place to be. Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Pablito. I'm just here this evening. I'm going to go and switch gear. But no, very, very serious note. This is just ridiculous. As an engineer, you watch the kind of thing, and then I'm going to, on a very serious note, what is really paining me and making me to talk like this, I'm going to leave from here. Today's holiday, so I'm going to go to work tomorrow. We have a project over there all the way to Oregon border. And we're doing some drainage stuff. So I'm going to be there. It's a rehab program. But I'm going to be there tomorrow, making sure the application of the standard I apply, safety standard I apply. I'm going to make sure tomorrow that when I do it, the spread that the people have calculated are kept within the spread area in the gutter. I'm going to be there tomorrow. Make sure that I do grading, regrade the ditch, the old ditch that is there. The fact that we'll put it in new system, we want to bring the ditch up to standard. I'm going to grade that tomorrow. I just did a big job here recently, and it's supposed to be taking us out to buy food. I told them I don't want to eat anything, no goat, I don't eat it. And no goat, I'm not eating. So they're going to make way to put goat in that. They don't put goat, I'm not eating. And then when I eat, next time you come here, I say, I don't know it. What you do to me? You ain't paying my mom, I ain't paying you more. After total, what you say, you fire, I beg you, how you fire me? Who are you to fire me? You brown toe? May I beg you, may your family to sit down. No one of us serious, no. I just did a job. What we did, what was it? 36 miles of road. And I was responsible for the design of it. The road aspect of it. There was no bridge involved in this one. I do that. I'm not bluffing. I'm not saying that because I'm bluffing. Right now, I wish someday that I can bring my supervisor on here. Let him tell you guys about me. There's a place over there they call Eureka. If you go on Google Maps, look for Eureka. It's in Humboldt County. They want people, designer from District 3 to go help them. But guess what? They want me and my Congolese brothers. They don't want nobody else. Because we did it before for them. We just did a bridge job about 4 or 5 months ago. Well, how much was it? I think it's like 700 million or something like that. I don't know. That's your problem. That's not my money. Oh, I know I got paid, I'm done. But when they're ready to do the construction, they will invite moi, Samson Told, to come and see my handiwork. So when it comes to these things, I know what I'm talking about, folks. I'm not fooling around. I know what I'm talking about. But these people over there, when you see these kinds of stuff in Liberia, you're wondering, are they serious? Yeah, they are. They are serious. And when you go there, you tell them, say, I've been behind these people, and this coming elections, I will call people names. I will call these senators that I've contacted who promised to do for me to come home free of charge. I'll pay my own way. They don't pay me, but I'm going to help them free of charge. And when I get there, they're doing like this. I will call their name this time around. I'm not hiding nothing anymore. I've been behind these people. I don't want job. I just want to help. Well, how can I help, for example? I don't have to be over there. I stay right here. Everything nowadays, you can do things on internet. I stay right here. Like this one kid will be calling me all the time, Mr. Toll, what do you do in this kinds of stuff? And I tell him. But I don't just tell him. I tell him, go on Google. Everything you want to know about anything on earth, go on Google. You will find it. And I tell him, I point out to him where on Google he can find out. It might not be exact type of information that you're looking for. I mean, not the exact situation, but you can modify that to suit whatever situation you're in terms of road construction. How can I help? I don't have to go over there to get a job. I don't need job. Why would I want to go take job at public work? To do what? To do what? Mess my reputation up? For what? To go do what at public work? To do what? The only thing I wanted to do, the only reason why I went, because this role that I was trying to be part of is in my backyard. And this is ego. There's no question. I just want to say, oh, look what I did. Just like the role that take you to the current vice president house. I did that design. They didn't build it according to my design. That I know for sure. I was in Liberia and I did all the measurements and they would forget it. These people are just ridiculous. I put pipe because they was on opposite of the vice president house. There are other people living there. So I put pipes so water don't go. But you know what? They didn't even put pipe there. They just slope the thing straight into the people yard. So the water coming from the street, they go into the people yard. The thing I was trying to avoid, they're doing it now. And who are these people? You think they're stupid? No. When you come from the vice president house, before you get to Tubman Boulevard, there's a creek in there. If you're in our area, you know what I'm talking about. There's a creek in our area. And I lower the profile of of the road, so that the water coming from the vice president house doesn't have to come with zoom speed like that. Slow it down so it doesn't create some sort of an erosion problem when it gets to the pipe. That's exactly what's happening right now. I was there. I saw the outlet of that pipe, the existing pipe, erosion everywhere. Because the speed of the water coming from the vice president house, coming to that street, coming to the creek, is too much. Man, these people, they sometimes get you really get you out of your comfort zone. As a liberal, I don't need to be talking, but sometimes they get me upset, to be honest with you. So I begged them, like the Grand Gita County officials, from my town, Toll Town, from the river. You go to Pella Village, when it's raining, you can't go nowhere. Simple fix. But they want me to go and beg them. Not only that, they want me to get some, I'm going to give you money because I want to, hey, sana mahala, subiyala, sala, I can't do that. And I refuse to just go and say I'm here. No. You want me, I told you, I'll call you and beg you. Now, you do your part. Okay, Mr. Toe. We're calling you, and you call me. Then I go to my wife and say the superintendent of Grand Gita County, they call me. I have to go. And she'll say, okay, whatever little money we have on the side, use it to pay your way to go. Because she's also from Grand Gita. But you want me to take the woman money, pay my way to go to Grand Gita and say, I'm here now? No, I won't do that. And besides that, even if I don't agree with these people, they're still our leaders. I can't just get up because I'm an engineer and get up and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do the engineering work. I'm not going to do that. That's a form of disrespect. And I refuse to do that. Even if I don't agree with it. I'm older than many of them. But yet still they are our leaders. I will give them that respect. Go to my people. As I come in. This election coming, people in Zwadru, they will know. They will know. When you leave Zwadru, when you go into Kuma Town, when you go into Babo Town, as soon as you leave Zwedru, they drop from that Oakley Road, they call it Country Road. They drop. It's almost like a 2 feet drop from the concrete to the meat. So when a car comes, the driver got to go there to drop the wheel. Then you go, then the big bike wheel drop. You can't just get and drive like that. No, you can't do it. You can't do it. And the side of the sidewalk, the erosion, the sidewalk is about almost 7 feet from the sidewalk to some of the people in front of some of the people's houses. And you call that living? You call that living? And I try to offer my services with these people are playing games. Okay, folks, that's enough of the engineering stuff. Yeah, Mikey, well, that's what we are. So let me now go on. Tonight's Monday. Tomorrow, folks, I'm going to have with me 3 of the Liberian young intellectuals. George Lobo going to be here. Sensei Gawa is going to be here. Janitor Dukale, I'm sorry if I'm chopping your name, man. It's going to be here. And we're going to have to discuss intellectually some of the things that are facing our country. And they're all, for example, George Lobo sympathizes with Dr. Boakai. I gave him the doctor name, so please spare me. Dr. Boakai, aspiration to be president. And Jonathan, sympathizer of ANC, Honorable Kumi, aspiration to be president. And Sese, sympathizer, Councillor Gonglo, aspiration to be president. So we will be here tomorrow to have discussion. So now let me go on to the letter and the reply of the letter and the reply of the reply to the reply. So for me, I have about an hour or so left. Hour 30 minutes, about hour 30 minutes, hour 45 minutes. So what I'm going to do here for you here tonight is to have Dr. Weah and Honorable Kumi have a debate through their letters. And so the debate is going to be interesting. And please forgive me, I'm from Total, I can't read. And if I try my best and pronounce a word, it sounds like somebody from Total. If you don't know what it means, forget it. So I will ask you not to go on Front Page Africa, go to up there, and you'll be able to see those letters, and you'll be able to read it along with me. So if I miss a word and spoke crown in that's your business. It's that your business. If I don't know how to read that, your business. Then I'm a business. So let's start the process. Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. So to start the process, let's do it honorably. Okay. So on August 31st, Kumi wrote the president an open letter. And in our open letter, Kumi was just pointing out a few things and his concern with respect to what is happening in the country. And after that, the president decided to reply Kumi, and I will read that also. After the reply, Kumi then decided to double down. Folks, this is a debate, and the rules of the debate here tonight, Honorable Kumi, I will be reading for you. Dr. Weah, I will be reading for you, and I'm not reading it with your consent either. I don't need to say, yeah, I agree with it. You don't got to agree, nothing. Facebook, I own no copyright or anything I'm going to be reading here tonight. Let me just make that disclaimer right away. So I'm not asking any of you permission to read. I'm reading it because it's my show. I'm cool. What y'all do to me? Dr. Weah, you can't do nothing to me. My hand thing, you mob your hand thing. You can't do nothing to me. My hand. So I'm reading. I'm not asking for permission. I'm reading. But I want to make sure that I do you both a favor by me being truthful to whatever you put down here. I'm going to be interpreting from time to time my own, but I hope that I will convey whatever it is that you wanted to talk about. Let's get it going. So, I said, that's what I wrote. So he said, Mr. President, I present my compliments and I feel compelled to draw your attention to three matters of urgent national concern. Firstly, last week the United States government announced sanctions on three senior officials of your administration, including the Minister of State and Chief of the Office Staff, the Solicitor General, and the Managing Director of the National Port Authority. The destination of these close and powerful members of your inner circle for act of stealing and abuse of their office is of serious embarrassment to the presidency and our country. Your response, Mr. President, is not commensurate with the magnitude and gravity of this international scandal and national shame. Suspension of these two officials is tantamount to thumping your nose at the United States. Come on. I would say the president thumping is, but anyway, thumping your nose at the United States and our most important developmental partner. Those involved are your close confidants and partisan. Your lack of decisive action could raise suspicion of your personal involvement in these activities and receipt of benefit from the thievery. Oh my God. Oh, my God, you kidding me? Yeah, folks, this is Liberia. This is Liberia. And I enjoy these things. This is a debate, folks. Kumi is on the floor. Kumi is, please, quiet, folks. Kumi is on the floor. Thievery and abuse. It has serious implications for yourself and smear the image of our country. No serious investor will consider Liberia as a destination for investment to ease the hardship on Liberians through job creation and employment for our people. If your reaction continues to be weak, indecisive, and not equal to the seriousness of the allegation, therefore, Mr. President, I again urge you to dismiss the designated individual and request the government of the United States to provide your administration with the information needed. If you do not possess it then already, to immediately pursue their prosecution. Mr. President, let me assure you that this is not a national concern over which the Liberian opposition intend to be divided. Ooh, oh, they said they're together. Woo, 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 woo. They're together. Woo, woo. He says, let me read that again. Mr. President, let me assure you that this is not the national concern over which the Liberian opposition intend to be divided, distracted, and therefore dismissive. Ooh, woo, 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 woo. I love it when Kumi speaks like that. Yeah. Because you know it. But then you need to get together. I will come back to that. We stand together, he said, and will not stand aside on this grave matter over which the welfare and well-being of the Liberians hang in the balance. We will continue to demand your response as you should on this important matter in the best interest of the Liberian people. Enough is enough. There must be a consequence for a dereliction of duty and commission of crime in our country. The second matter, Mr. President, is that at your recent campaign rally in Moserado County, Representative Solomon George, a CDC partisan, asked you to appoint him police director so that he can use that office to cause the disappearance of Liberians known to be in opposition to your administration. This was a dangerous, reckless, and hate-filled and incendiary statement. It should have been immediately and publicly condemned by you. That you applauded. It was most disappointing and troubling. I should remind you of your oath as president to protect lives and property as well as preserve our hard-won democracy. We have already seen many suspicious deaths and mysterious murder honor your leadership of our country. We have heard threats of bloodletting by the head of your party youth league and mayor of the city of Monrovia. We have seen the violent reaction, including by arguing of your party to peacefully protest by Liberians, and recently to students of the University of Liberia, one of whom is still struggling for his life. Mr. President, every Liberian life is precious. Our peace and democracy were earned on the sacrifices violently and voluntarily and involuntarily of the Liberian and other lives. We will not compromise our peace and democracy, nor accept to be silent in the protection and exercise of that for which many pay the ultimate price, so that all Liberians can have, enjoy, protect, and preserve the generation to come. The final matter, Mr. President, is the recent decision of the Liberian Senate to remove and replace all electoral magistrates who are trained and experienced. This decision is not recommended by the National Election Commission and is unsupported by any reasoning that advance our nation needs for increased fairness and improved credibility in our electoral process. Even worse, its position, the Senate, if not the entire legislature, to meddle into the employment of the election magistrate, which is the duty of the NEC, This therefore leaves the unfortunate impression that it is unhelpful, if not even hurtful, to the conduct of free, fair, and credible election in 2023. A process that is pivotal to the consolidation of peace, security, and democracy in our country. I therefore urge you to vote to veto this decision of the Liberian Senate should such unhelpful decision reach your desk. This will be the right thing to do for Liberia, for the Liberian people, and for our cherished peace, democracy, and security. Sincerely, Alexander B. Cummings. He didn't say opposition or anything. He just said it as a citizen. But how is that? Let me let you digest that a little bit. How is Cummings' letter? I like that part. I like the part where he said, at this point, we will not, as opposition, we are united in this. I thought that was very interesting. That was very interesting. Now let's listen to Samuel Tuer, will be Dr. Formula, because he writes and put all kinds of stuff in here. Okay. I like when Samuel Tuer didn't write, instead of writing, it's a simple English like Cummings did here. I come and struggle here again tonight to come pronounce his words, then that don't even mean anything to anybody, but we'll do our best. Cummings, president now, Samuel Tuer, President/Samuel Tuer replying to Cummings. I believe Samuel Tuer wrote that anyway. But that's just, I mean, the president got dictated Samuel Tuer and said, write it for me. So who cares? But anyway, let me go on. So, yeah, you sit down there. yo, no. So the president replying to Samuel Tuer, Honorable Cummings now, he said, let me begin by stressing that as President of the Republic of Liberia, I have a constitutional responsibility to all citizens, regardless of their political, ethnic, or social persuasions. So when a communication supposedly meant for my attention appears first on the front pages of the newspapers and on social media, it is obvious that the intent is to achieve a political objective. an objective that has eluded you at the ballot box. But I am glad that you have finally found your voice. Woo! Dip, dip, dip. Mr. President, what do you mean by that? What exactly are you trying to say? Okay, he said, let me read that again. Okay. it is obvious, but he said, blah, blah, blah. It is obvious that the intent is to achieve a political objective, an objective that has eluded you at the ballot box. But I'm glad that you have finally found your voice. So that means I beat you during the elections. You couldn't say anything. The people wanted to hear what you have to say. Now this is it. Like I said, I'm going to interpret from time to time. But anyway, let's go on. There is no doubt that the express action by the government of the United States to impose sanctions on 3 officials of the government, well, you can't say of my government. Mr. President, what is the difference of the government and your government? This is your government. The government is honoring your leadership. Why you want to remove yourself from it? Questions. But anyhow, let's go on. Of the government is a matter of great concern that carries a lot of weight. And these 2 people now, they're not just playing to the Liberian audience. They're really demonstrating, having a debate, platform debate, or social media debate, or whatever debate you want. But their audience, their intended audience, is the American embassy, and through them to the American. That's their intended audience. That's what I think. There is no doubt that the express action by the government, okay, blah, 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 is a lot of weight. Not just because of the strong historical bonds that subset between the 2 countries and the fact that they are our traditional ally and foremost international partner, but because the fight against corruption is a key priority of my administration. Yeah, President, yeah, you and Thomas Trey, your son, 1 minute he said the government, he said my government, but now he fight. Let me read that again. Let me read the other one. He said, impose sanction on 3 officials of the government. 3 officials of the government. But because the fight against corruption is a key priority of my administration. Yeah, that I will enjoy it to be in other debate, for which we have taken manifold steps to eradicate. The bilateral relationship that Liberia and the United States share continues to grow from strength to strength. As a leader, I took immediate action when the United States recently accused officials of the Liberian government of impropriety and grift, and I informed the nation of further pending action. Did you guys hear, President? We are informing nations. The only thing I heard was that he was suspended. He didn't even announce it. They were just written that they were suspended. Or maybe I missed that. Okay, but he said he informed the nation of further pending action. I am glad that the United States and other international partners also recognize the stride that Liberia is making towards consolidating democracy and good governance. In recent years, for instance, we have instituted more measures to fight corruption to fight corruption than was ever done when you serve in a government. But Comey will come back to that. Comey will come back to that. Watch this, mark this word. When he said Comey serve in the government. But I don't believe Comey serve. But anyway, Comey will come and address that. Anyway, so serve in the government. 2 years ago, we convened local and international stakeholders to discuss ways in which the historical malice of corruption can be tackled. We also sponsor a major gathering of Liberia's judiciary to partner over status that have tended to inhibit the fight against corruption. Suggestions from these gatherings were included in the new LACC Act recently passed by the Liberian legislature. This has given us much international acclaim, including from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, which positively appraised my administration effort at fiscal prudence, microeconomic stability, projected growth in spite of global inflation, and other good. You see where I say Samuel 12 now? Yeah. Samuel 12 all over the place now. Samuel 12, global inflation, that's Samuel 12. That one, not even Dr. Wiao. And other good governance measure in its recent statement on Liberia. Where was your voice, Master Kumi, when 60 plus concessions awarded by the government in which you serve were found to be bogus, illegal, and incriminal to the interests of the Liberian people? Where was your voice, Mr. Kumi, when the National Oil Company of Liberia was rendered bankrupt? Where was your voice when cries for the pavement of a short stretch of road from Ganta to Yekepa could not be carried out because your administration, for preliminary gain, then asked the concession to default on their commitment enshrined in their agreement? Where was your voice when the central bank was crippling on a struggling unfettered borrowing by the government in which you serve, undermining nation strategic reserve, and dealing to the weakening monetary environment? Folks, all this from here on now, all the questions asked at Samuel 12. That's Samuel 12. This is but the tip of the iceberg of a humongous cocktails of mismanagement, grave ill governance, and inefficiencies that happen right on your nose, where you maintain a loud and conspicuous silence. A few months ago, you were accused. Oh, here we go. Hey, come here. I told you, my people. I told you. Hey, that's smarty. That's smarty. That's smarty. Then the debate go, and not easy. Listen to you. He said, but here's the interesting thing. If you do that, then you're being intellectually dishonest. Samuel 12, to be honest with you. Because it's what I'm about to read here in the sanctioned documents, they made reference to it, that the government, your government, were persecuting people falsely. So for you not to come back and mention that, it's intellectually dishonest. But let me go on. A few months ago, you were accused of forgery by some leader of your CPP. CPP group, and was afforded the opportunity to go to court and be heard. Now you are saying that others should be deprived of that same opportunity to due process. Let me remind you that the very U.S. government that you referenced called for due process and the application of Liberian law, as was stated by Ambassador McCarthy when he unveiled the destination. We stand ready to support the government of Liberia in pursuit of its own investigation of corruption in its jurisdiction, understanding that you will apply Liberian law in an appropriate, transparent, and timely manner. Where is it? Tell me when you read, you then you tie yourself again. I keep telling you, Liberia is not the Liberia of the 70s, the young Liberians, and you will watch that tomorrow. Highly sophisticated, highly educated. Then you're going to come here and say, up to this time, where's the transparency? Where's the timely manner? That you're making reference, that the ambassador say, he praising you. Where is it now? Man, please. You cannot resort to selective amnesia in these grave matters, Mr. Cummings. It is also disappointing to note your reference to a vote to a veto by the Liberian Senate to change elections, to change election magistrate, and your call on me to veto or vote vote by the Liberian Senate to change election, and your call on me to veto this decision by the Liberian Senate as a former senator, and Kumi going to knock him right back. Oh yeah. Folks, if you are a political junkie, you can really enjoy it. Yeah, I tell you. Kumi going to come by and knock what I'm getting ready to read. Listen to Dr. Weah. He said, as a former senator, let me take this opportunity to screw you, that means to educate you in the working of the Senate, the legislature in general, and its relationship with the executive in passage of laws. A vote by the Senate on any bill does not come to the desk of the president. Thank you, Mr. President. You know the Constitution for real. Oh, yeah. A vote by the Senate requires concurrence by the House of Representatives before it is submitted to the office of the president for his signature or veto. Yeah. But people are, you know, this thing, I laugh now. If medicine was in a country, if people were not hungry, going to bed hungry, if they were not calling us here every day for money, and you're doing this kind of thing, I will laugh all day because I'm enjoying it. But there are some serious consequences because of your inept behavior as a government. Some of your policies that you guys continue to implement, they are not helping. But let's go. I'm enjoying it. In this instant case, this bill did not emanate from the executive branch, nor does it has its support. The president said they don't have their support. The continued fear-mongering by you and others in the opposition seeking to prematurely cast aspersion on the sanctity of our electoral process in the face of the excellent track record of the numbers of free, transparent, and fair elections which have been held since my incumbency, meaning won by candidates of your very opposition, is duplications. Ooh, duplications, and dishonest. Let me remind you and other members of the Liberian traditional elite. Oh, Salsito, yeah. Facon, Eugene Facon, good evening to you. You now turn to Samuel Twain, now turn to Eugene Facon, my people. Samuel Twain now turn to Eugene Facon. Wrote the stuff, and Dr. Weah then he asked question and send it. Let me read that. Let me remind you and other members of the Liberian traditional elite list, political class, that in spite of the political, economic, and humanitarian carriage you have caused over a century, and still feel an uncanny entitlement to the office I now occupy. Wow. Country versus conquer. Yeah, they come again. There's no two-way street about them, my people. You can't hide it. You cannot hide it. Okay? I assume leadership through a peaceful, democratic, free, and fair process in which the people of people of Liberia gave me an overwhelming mandate, 61.5%. I can attest to that. An election that you participated in and received a decimal seven. Yeah, on a cover, boom, on a cover, boom. To me, stack a bike, folks. To me now, trying to find his way. Okay, folks, it's halftime. Cummings now starting back to his corner, having had a nasty job from Dr. Weah. 7% vote of rejection. I am a man of peace, a man of integrity. Cummings gonna come by. Let me warn you, sedition, you might not be happy here. You might not be carrying on and dancing. Come infinite. I pay my dues. Woo, come gonna say something. I pay my dues to my country for decades. Long before I was given the mandate of leadership, the mantle of leadership by the Liberian people. This was done at a great personal risk, particularly during the war years. I doubt you were anywhere around to fully understand what this truly means. Ooh. And Dr. Weah rushed in Kumi's corner and punches him again, giving another hand undercover bike heel. And so Kumi now startling, and Kumi's corner is giving him water to drink, folks, this is enjoyable, folks. I hope all of you are enjoying me reading it. I left the comfort of Monte Carlo, the comfort of Paris, the comfort of Milan, and the comfort of New York to help my people who were in distress due to war. Many days I flew from Paris to Budururan Camp, that's in Ghana, from Monaco to Conakry in Guinea, and from Paris to Abidjan, Danane in La Côte d'Ivoire, to lend a helping hand to assist my people who were in dire straits in refugee camps. I suspended my career to join UNICEF as a goodwill ambassador, free of charge and at great personal cost, to support the international effort to end the war and help disarm child soldiers. The records are there, but none are as blind as those who do not wish to see. Where were you then, Mr. Kumi? Did you leave your perched tower in Atlanta to lift a finger to help our people who were dying? I know that by this response, I have inadvertently called you the attention. Oh my goodness, people! This is. He recognized that. The 12 recognized that. He said, you myself, we're not in the same league, but I'll not pass the ball on to you. Now you're going to come and play. Okay? Let's see, where was that? Supposedly, blah, blah, blah. Where were you? Mr. Cummings, did you have a, okay? I know that by this response, I have inadvertently called you the attention you have long sought in order to receive a deal political structure for which you issue weekly press release and statement which makes unsubstantiated claims. However, I owe it to the people of Liberia, to the general public, and to the people the world over to correct these completely erroneous characterizations that you and your clique continue to spill out. The Congress for Democratic Change, now the Coalition for Democratic Change, has a history of utilizing its internal mechanism to chastise leaders who violate the law of the party, including expulsion from the party of even its chairmanship. Can you say that about your party? Perhaps you should speak to the founding chairman from who you bought. You can perhaps you should ask. You should speak to the founding chairman from whom you bought your little party. Little party, ANC, a little party, Dr. George. I'm sorry, Dr. Weah, President Weah. I'm sorry. I apologize. He will tell you about the strong attitude of zero tolerance for improper behavior within the CDC. Let me say, for the record, that Representative Solomon George and all opinion leaders in the Coalition for Democratic Change are fully cognizant of my publicly held position on the maintenance of the country's hard-earned peace and the rule of law. This recent statement was out of order. It was no surprise, therefore, that he, Solomon George, now, wasted no time in setting the record straight about what he truly intended to convey. But the insincerity on your part becomes so probably when you are up in arms pertaining to the public gathering because of his coming. When you would not gather the same courage to bring in an agitator, who is the agitator of a lawmaker, Korba. An agitator of the lawmaker within the rank of your own party, who constantly threaten violence and denigrating women. He, in fact, took gun to the protest rally in which you participated, but not a word was heard from you. How hypocritical. This double standard removes any moral authority to offer advice on what rightful path the country out. Ooh, now that's low, Dr. Weah. He's a citizen of the Republic of Liberia. He's entitled to his opinion. There's nothing here. The fact, even if he didn't say anything, that doesn't mean he can't. I didn't say anything about Korba. I can still say something about life. And you're telling me that he has moral authority to offer advice on what rightful path the country ought to take? No, I don't agree with it. But anyway, I'm reading. I have no history of violence. My rise from Monrovia slum is publicly documented. It was through hard work, respect, dedication, and commitment that I crawled my way out of poverty. But I have never forgotten my root. So there is a reason why your attempt to conflict who Liberians and the world actually know me to be have not gained much traction. Woo! Excuse me, Dr. Weah. I do not condone violence in any form whatsoever. It runs contrary to my belief. I have made that clear in all my public statements. It is therefore malicious, that in your seeming desperation to be president, you will trump anything and everything that comes to mind, including your dangerous posit that I condone violence. That is something I say about sometimes Samuel 12, when you're writing, you want to be the Dr. Family. You put all kind of words in here that don't mean nothing, that don't mean much. Common word like the post, something like common thing you're supposed to say instead of disingenuous post, disingenuous word or something. You come to put a big word in here. Let me use this opportunity to remind you that, Doctor, we are speaking now. Let me use the opportunity to remind you that our democracy through Nostr, like another one, is being consolidated over time with the holding of many free and fair elections, some of which were lost by the ruling party. I can assure you, and order of your light, of the ink, that my commitment to a free, fair, and he's not addressing the issue of the magistrate now. A fair and transparent process in 2023 remain unbending. I, George Manuel Weah, he said, will be putting myself forward. Who he declared, folks, Dr. Weah has declared, will be putting myself forward for a new mandate from the Liberian people. And I am confident of the resounding second mandate based on my solid record of tangible deliverables in spite of huge challenges. Let us take the debate to our people because they are the ultimate decision makers on the issue of leadership in Liberia. Instead of seeking to use unconstitutional, Dr. Weah, who are using unconstitutional means? Let me read that again. Instead of seeking to use unconstitutional means to circumvent the democratic process, come and face me at the ballot box. Woo! I said a crew boy. He does something else. The crew boy is so what? He wanted it. Two. Then boom. And Kumi went by again. He said, "You come by again." Boom. Yeah, boom. And Kumi coming by. My people coming by. Yeah, this is This is very interesting and very enjoyable. Okay? Never again will Liberia. No, yes, the interesting. I laugh about these things, but when I get to a particular word that strike me to be serious, then I will. Never again will Liberia return to the dark days of violence. All those wanting to take state power must therefore submit to the will of the Liberian people, because it is only through peace, unity, development, and democracy that our beloved nation can prosper. Best regard, George Manneh Weah. You see what he took for doing? Kumi didn't come out to say member of the opposition or ANC. No. Dr. Weah didn't even come out to say president. He said best regard, George Manneh Weah. He didn't even say president. So that's the reply. But the doozy of all. Now, then Kumi sat down and said, no. I can't let it begin go all like that. I can't let it begin go all like that. I can't let it begin go. So Kumi said, let's see. You say you're no boat. I say I think I no boat too. So let's see. Now Kumi coming back. But this one is much more involved. I think at this time Kumi have took out the gloves and no longer in a boxing ring. The fight have turned serious. Serious allegations going to be living now. I'm wondering as to whether Dr. We are going to let this go or is he even going to come back. Because I think Kumi has elevated the conversation from mere political spectrum or political ground play to a level of serious allegation in the face of our international partners. And there are some words in here that Kumi has used, and I'm not comfortable with them, but those are his words. I'm going to read them anyway. Okay, so let's go on. How am I doing, folks? I mean, let me know. Throw your finger on and tell me whether I should continue with it or let it go. What you think? Mikey, what you think, my piggy? What you think? Y'all let me know whether it's good thing to continue reading it. What you think? I don't see nothing. I don't see anybody writing anything. Okay, I see one. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay, so Lauren just here on stop. He closed his eyes. Okay, anybody else? What do you mean I'm troublesome? That if you right here reading, says why you are troublesome? I'm reading a book right here, is that troublesome? If I'm so you, I don't think I would do that. Would be good anyway. I'm reading. I'm doing. Okay. Continue. Okay. Continue. Okay. Keep reading. Okay. I got 2 reading now. Let's go. Maybe I need 5. Keep reading and I'll continue with it. I need 5. I got 2 now. Oh my goodness. Come on, guys. Tell me what you want me to do. Okay. All right. The 2 that say go, I will go. Okay. All right. Let's take it serious. So let's go on. So coming back again, but this as I stated is a little bit of a serious matter now. So let me separate. Okay, well, we got time. Mr. Joyce, Amos Joyce, I hope you stick around so that you will critique me here at the end. You know our routine. My man, Alfonso, and you and your team, my ain't paying your more. You ain't paying my more. Okay, you're far right, Mr. Joyce, central right. the Minnesota politician, and the ANC legislature analyst. What y'all do to me? Y'all come tomorrow. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be waiting. No, not tomorrow. Ooh, tomorrow. I gotta be careful. Because tomorrow, if the young people show up, I gotta be careful because they probably have the ability to truly do some serious damage to my ego. Okay, folks, let me go on. Thank you, guys. Let me go on. So Kumi is now replying to the president now, after the president took all the big jab at Kumi. But like I said, I will take my time to read it because there are some certain allegations and certain statement here that are a little bit too much. But let's continue reading. These are Kumi's words, and one thing I like about Kumi, and that's what an educated person would do. He doesn't play with big words. He give it to you simple, and you clearly get it. You understand it. Let's go on. Kumi is going on. He wrote there on the 2nd of this month. So, Mr. President, thank you for your response to my open letter. However, it is interesting that you will complain about the openness of my mind in the open response of yours. Openness of mind in your open response of yours. When in fact, open letter are meant to be open. Coming right, educating, published. Perhaps on account of the angry honor to woo. I told you. Yeah. If you listen to the words now. Perhaps on account of the angry undertone clearly revealed in your surface to say it was filled with some falsehood and contradiction that are characteristic of the high office. All characteristic of the high office. For instance, of course, you must know that I have not directly worked for any Liberian government. Remember, he's in Kumi or Dr. Weah or two were making reference to Kumi working in the government. I told you that. Almost with the Liberian government, along with the former Indian Consul General, Mr. Yupti Sangni, whatever his name, Jati, and the Firestone Rubber Corporation, among others, we were asked to serve on the board of the Booker Washington Institute to provide technical and financial support to the institution for no compensation per your priority of reasoning, many reasoning. Will you label those board members as working in the previous administration too? When you appointed eminent foreign person as well as other permanent Liberians to the board of BWI, were you appointing them to work in your administration? Granted, Mr. President, that the nature of our country, politics may be disrespectful of public service. I respect public service, and I will continue to honor those who have tried to serve our country honorably. I also do not believe that public service necessarily means working for the government, because even in the private sector, the honorable intent is to serve the public. As such, why I have not directly worked for any Liberian government, I have found my work to be the service of the public. I am proud of the record of my service to services to several institutions, and to our country. Mr. President, guilt by association is wrong. Those with authority, including yourself, should not make it seem acceptable. However, in your case, it is clear that it's senator. Oh, he coming now. Remember the senator stuff? Dr. Weah said, I used to be senator, and now watch this. Listen to the, oh yeah, I said, bogus, you, my children, bogus, sweet, you're going to go to school. Listen to that thing here. Listen to that kind of book these people writing here. Samuel Toa owned yeah, but Samuel Toa is highly educated, of course. He's very smart too. But listen to the reply. Kumi, I've been reading Kumi, I've read what, 3 pages and nothing vocals or any kinds of angry tone of like the other one was, nothing like that. It keep making, that's how you disabuse somebody. But anyway, I'm not going to characterize it as anything but what I'm reading. I'm just saying book is sweet. You learn. Not me reading because I don't know how to read. I chopping it everywhere. But the people who wrote these things, book is sweet, my people. Okay. However, in your case, it is clear that a senator who is authorized by the Constitution to exercise legislative oversight on the executive is equally culpable if an administration default in its responsibility to yeah. Kumi give back. He said, oh, that mean they begin jamming. So Kumi jam go boom. Dr. Weah, he turned, so he looking, but he's stunned. He's stunned at this time. Dr. Weah is stunned, folks. He's in the ring. He's stunned. Kumi is saying, oh, you saw how Kumi said, yeah, you're a senator. But don't you think as senator, as someone who is responsible for the oversight of the executive, if the executive default or anything, aren't you taking the responsibility as well and the blame? Well, boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah. Yeah, my man. Well, I hope you people will do the thing every day. I mean, I will truly enjoy it. Okay? Constitution to exercise legislative oversight on the executive is equally culpable if an administration default in its responsibility to the people and allegedly corruptly passed 60-plus bill concession agreement. Now, he said, you senator, you're telling me that a government that you're supposed to have an oversight responsibility on, and you sat there and let the people pass 60-plus bills that are not even constitutional, bogus bill, and you want to remind me about that? What is your responsibility as a senator? Oh, moreover, you are the president now and have been for 5 years. It's before the authority of your office to audit, seek punishment wherever necessary, and direct a new course for our country, rather than double down and continue to use the so-called wrongs of the past to justify even more egregious wrong of today. Ooh! Well, this is. Oh my goodness. Dr. Weah, yeah, you're kidding me, man. You're kidding me. What? Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Weah, you got letter. Kumi is not playing around now. He's saying, eh? You sat down, now you're president of 5 years. Instead of to show me what you have done, you sit there and say, it happened in the past, therefore I'm doing it now. That kind of wrong justification. Let me go on. Unfortunately, he said, you have not audited the past administration because it would mean auditing your former office of peace. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I told you, listen to this. Unfortunately, let me take a time now and read it because this one is seen to be serious. Unfortunately, you have not audited the past administration because it will mean auditing your former office of peace ambassador and senator. Because you can't leave that out. Also, Mr. President, you claim to have instituted more measures in the fight against corruption. Why that remains to be proven? The truth is, the problem in the fight against corruption is not the inadequacies of the law, rather it is the lack of political will, including by the leaders like yourself, who either by act of complicity or duplicity. Ooh, coming out, going on through my man. Yeah, I said LU everywhere here today. Liberia, we got both people. Liberia, we got both people. Duplicity, complicity, implicity. Ooh. folks, Samson told Labro Pablo, I got a few more minutes around me. I'm telling you, this is interesting here tonight, okay? Ah, my goodness. Why that remain, okay? Blah, 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 duplicity. Cannot enforce and or apply the law uniformly to all. This also means providing adequate resources to integrity institutions to do their work. Now, Comey is taking this thing serious. Serious. He's going deep into it now. He's going deep into other agencies to do their work and not overseeing the effective breakdown, politicization, or compromise of their independence. Additionally, you as the head of the presidency and the government must lead by good example and higher standard so that the rest of the administration and government can follow, because people tend to do what their leaders do. For example, where the law provided for the government official to declare their access and act transparently and accountably, the president should lead by diligently and honestly doing so himself. This includes publishing your assets for the people to know, which authority, which, although not required by law, is an indication of the seriousness of your fight against corruption. As president, I will not just declare my assets, but I will publish them. Community, reminding them of the fiasco of the Access Declaration that they created here. Unfortunately, Mr. President, this has not been the case in the last 5 years of your administration. Corruption has worsened so badly in your administration that the United... I told you. The only sad thing is these are all my brothers from the Southeast. And the Southeastern, they are now demonstrating to the rest of the Liberians that we are capable of holding our own. Don't mess with the people from the Southeast. Let me go on. So as president, I will not, okay. Unfortunately, Mr. President, this has not been the case in the last 5 years of the administration. Corruption has worsened so badly in the administration that the United States government has had to publicly sanction 3 of the closest and most powerful members of your inner circle. I and others have tried to draw your attention to the fact that your response to the sanction is weak, inadequate, and ineffective. Implicates the presidency in the unacceptable perception of being corrupt. You see, Mr. President, the sanctions are not just grave and serious because the United States government, our traditional allies and development partner, imposed them. They are because the charges ruin the image of the country and smear the Liberian presidency. The image of the Liberian government revealed as a cable of thieves over which you preside. It's hurtful and disturbing to every Liberian everywhere, especially the many who are already poor and destitute. A response, therefore, or thereto, should therefore be tougher in order to dissuade this impression, as well as any implication and perception that the Liberian presidency is directly or complicit, especially given that the situation the sanctioned individual are close and powerful member of your inner circle. I'm adding oh, my goodness. I apologize. When I read Dr. Weir's letter, I should have had his picture up. So I apologize. But anyway, what you do to me? I'm blocked. I made a mistake. I say I'm sorry. As long as I know deep inside of me, I'm sincerely sorry about that. I fear no man. Do whatever you want to do. As you may know, the Constitution appoints. Did I jump over something? Oh, inner circle. As you know, the Constitutional appointing and dismissal power of the Liberian president is not one that requires right to due process of law. And like the way you think you're talking to Bobo, the man claimed the corporate ladder, Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola that me like that, Coca-Cola that only give people any kind of free drinks. Eh? The man claimed that ladder, that man you can play around. When was the last time you know Coca-Cola and gave free drink? They pure me, but the man claimed that ladder. He's very smart, very smart. Look how he's dealing with it now. Okay, it doesn't require law because you have the power to hire and dismiss. It doesn't require any. It's at will. To serve in the magistrate, ministerial deputy and management director position, Mr. President, it is at the will and pleasure of the president. Let me remind you, he said, I just put my own word, and I'm privileged. Therefore, when pronouncement concerning corruption and abuse of such privilege are credibly made against such official, the appointment authority can and must act to preserve the integrity of the whole of the government and, importantly, the image of the country. Wow. The guy is going down. My people, yeah. This is not easy tonight, my man. What? Yeah. I therefore urge you again to more seriously dismiss, request the document if you do not already have it, and frightfully prosecute your friends. Ooh, that's kind of. This is the ultimate due process. At prosecution, we will join in the incentive that all concerned will ensure, and must have their due process rights upheld in the court. Of course, that's what he's saying. Respect and protect it. Allow me to peacefully remind you that the Liberian presidency is among the most scarce and respected of our public institutions. Preserving its esteemed status should always be of the highest national priority, because dismissing the presidency amounts to disgracing the Liberian nation. Man, this is the song I've been singing all the time. Kumi can't help me to sing. We criticize, but we do it with respect. We criticize, but we do so with responsibility, because the presidency of the Republic of Liberia is not anything to sneeze at. This is our country. We respect our country, and therefore we respect anybody that sits in there. We'll criticize you, but we'll do so with respect. And Kumi is saying the same thing. Is very serious, very serious. The imposition of these sanctions extend to revealing that either you do not know what your appointed officials are doing, or even more unsettling, you know and benefit, so you permit rather than intend to stop it. Kumi. Act more decisively, Mr. President, so as to rescue the Liberian presidency from these deeply disturbing national and international perception and impression of the corruption and inactive. May I also encourage more discipline, diligence, and honor in your duty to preserve the sanctity and esteem of the Liberian presidency. Mr. President, I am surprised that you have tried to cast yourself as a victim of your own administration and presidency. Ooh, come here. Come here, yo, my people. Okay, folks, in the corner, Dr. We are corner, they're giving him some water right now. Come here. Come here again. You are not and cannot be. Every failure of your presidency has made the Liberian people the victim. It is safe to say, for 5 years, promises you made to our people for change have been promises broken by you, by your decision and action. Many, especially women and youth, have had their hopes dashed and are still awaiting change. Change we must. Where is it that we are coming asking? He said, because you not promised so many things, you're not doing nothing. So don't call yourself victim, and you're not victim. He said, come, he said. Okay. Too many Liberians are suffering today than when you assume the mantle of the presidency. As long as you and your administration are committed to the free expression of the Liberian people in choosing their leader as the opposition is, I assure you, our country's transition to a new, more accountable leadership and real change will happen in 2023. This is how men talk. You can say, maybe Dr. Bwaka's like something to Dr. Bwaka, no. I'm impressed. No, on a very serious note. I am tonight. I'm very, I read this over and over before, but not this loud. And so I'm very impressed, to be honest. This is how you do business, man. You're from Southeast for real. But anyway, anyhow, let's go on. So, blah, blah, blah. What was that? Free expression, blah, blah, blah. I assure you, okay. So that our country can provide a better and more prosperous future for all after he coming take the leadership. You pronounce yourself as a peaceful man. Here you come, my people. Be careful. You pronounce yourself as a peaceful man, Mr. President. It will be unfair for me to pronounce you to be otherwise. However, you cannot refute that a peaceful man will not have but come me, you gotta go there. Hey, begin. Hey, man. I didn't know Kumi was coming to that kind of point. He gotta go on the main football field. He said, listen to this. Yeah, Kumi, yeah, this is like I said, if people are not hungry and not having something begging for us every day, calling relative, calling for money and things like that, yeah, that is funny. But this is not funny. People are hungry. But listen to it. However, I cannot refute that a peaceful man will not help but a fellow player on the pitch as you did George Costa, causing him a bloody face and a broken nose in the infamous Porto versus Milan game. You also cannot credibly refute claim that you contributed and helped to direct the activities of the movement for democracies in Liberia model, a functional group in the Liberian Civil War, including paying for logistical support in 2002 for model rebel to travel from the Ivory Coast port to Sino County in Liberia to fight against Taylor. Come in, they want to apply. You're going too deep, man. Which one of the people among us who did not support anything in Liberia? Who will come in? Every one of us. You can't do that, and I'll deal with that. You can't do that. This kinds of conversation should not be part of this debate. I don't think, because you're scoring no point on this particular one, to be honest with you. Because every Liberian, those of us that are still alive, either you pay your way to go to Accra for the peace conference, you're still contributing to the war. Either you're here paying, sending money to your relatives back home to find food for them to eat, especially the Crown that were in the barracks, you're still supporting that. So why will you bring this up? Every Liberian, every one of us was affected by the war. Nobody will come out clean and be clean. There are people who are fully responsible. But to come here and say the men pay for logistics, for model to be, this is, I don't agree with it. Let me just tell you upfront. Those of you that are supporting comments, if you don't like my comment, too bad. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be serious. So I don't agree with it. Let's read on. The tone of the reading now has changed. Okay? May I remind you that Liberians die he didn't accuse you of any kinds of involvement in the war. He said, Cummings, he said that he gave up his position to feed Liberian outside of Liberia in refugee camp. He said, while you were out in your penthouse in Atlanta, he said, he doesn't believe you have a feeling and you don't know much about it. You come back and tell us what's your own contribution. What did you do when Liberians were fighting? Don't come here and throw this kind of blow on the bell blow. Unacceptable. May I remind you that Liberians died in a military misadventure. You call it misadventure. Not many Liberians were called that. There were people who believed what they were doing. Ice Prince Johnson, if this was misadventure. There were people, the people who fought on both sides, if this was misadventure. People come and kill your mom and pa and brothers and sisters, and you go to fight, to revenge, or do whatever. You call it misadventure? You call it misadventure, Prince? Cummings? Unacceptable. Liberian died in this misadventure. It is also reported that you rented fishing boat and provided guns and ammunition estimated at US $150,000 to Model. Now, when you start going this line, then I think it will behoove on me reading this to continue to make a comment and say, where are the evidence? This is the ESA right now is definite. Where are the evidence? You cannot want to be president of the Republic of Liberia and throw these kinds of stuff out there without evidential proof. You accuse the president of not being straightforward by firing those people because he have evidence. Where's your evidence? It just messed me up completely. But anyway, I promised I was going to read it. Let me continue reading it. But when I start counting pages now, it just ruined my spirit completely. But anyway, now this is the ability that I have. I have the ability to compartmentalize. I'm going to have to put this feeling that I have now. I'm not here to support Dr. Weir. But this war affected many, many Liberians. I would dare to say all of us. So when we're having these kinds of conversations, to make the war to be part of the national debate, it must be backed by facts. You say you did this here at the receipt. You paid this here at the receipt. According to the person here at the receipt, or here at the proof. Then I think we'll get somewhere. But anyhow, I'm just reading, okay? And March early, let me read that. Both and provided guns and ammunition estimated at US $150,000 to Model. And March early in 1999, you provided food and supply costing between US $20,000 to US $25,000 to Liberian United for Reconciliation. Lord, another rebel group in the Liberian War. It has been further claimed that you did this so to foster your long-held ambitions for the Liberian presidency. As wow, the man must be really thinking you. Let me get these people the money so they will fight the war. I don't know who's gonna win, but I will get them the money. But anyway, I think they will win. Then when they win, then I will want to be president, because when they win, then the people will vote. This logic escapes you. Your logic here does not hold water, I would say so. Okay. It has been further claimed that you did okay, as initially suspected by former president. Well, yeah. So President Taylor suspected that. So, whose unconstitutional removal you supported. Kumi, let me read that again. Let me read that again. It has been further claimed. Folks, I think Kumi has put his foot in his own mouth right now. I say so. Samson told. It has been further claimed that you did so to foster your long-held ambition for the Liberian presidency, as initially suspected by former President Taylor, whose unconstitutionally removal you supported. How is that? Why aren't you holding Madam Ellen Sirleaf, who is then president of the Republic of Liberia, responsible? Why aren't you why are you holding somebody else's to say they supported? We all supported that. I also supported the removal of Taylor. What are you saying? What exactly are you saying, Kumi? Okay, this letter going downhill now, I think. Mr. President, I did not go to Burundi personally, just as I did not financially support, participated in, and or direct the activities of any warring faction in our country long years of war. However, contrary to your assertion, I was not perched in a tower in Atlanta, but rather running the entire operation of Coca-Cola in Africa, in all of Africa, and assisting where I could Liberians fleeing from the crisis. Okay, that's how you reply to that. This is the reply that I was looking for. But instead, you come into whole bush, you come into whole bush. What proof you got enough tying with law and all that kind of stuff? Is that the kind of debate you're going to have on the stage? If he accepts your challenge, you will be defeated based on that debate, because Liberia is not going to support you, especially when you call the removal of Charles Taylor, person who was responsible. You remember when you were on LPR here, and we brought up and CDC professor brought up the issue of you sitting in a hammock, and you said that was a mistake. I think this particular allegation here is going to be, you will long after this will also consider this as a mistake. Because if you want people to believe that Charles Taylor was removed unconstitutionally, the man who was responsible for the death of many, many Liberians, and you want him to be defeated through the ballot box, whereas he refused to have elections, what other means do you want him to be removed? Comments? I'm going to have comment people here tomorrow. They're going to have to answer that. This is unacceptable. But I thought this other point here now really makes a point. Mr. George, Amos George, I hope you're listening, because you're going to come here and I'm going to question you on that. Okay? What we do for our people should not give us a sense of entitlement to the presidency as you seem to have. Good point. However, the question is, after reported feeling, he's still going to go. I think the whole reading here from this point on well, I'm not going to characterize it because these are his opinion, because there's no evidence to it as far as I'm concerned. I have not seen it. Maybe he has provided evidence to other readers, but I have not seen it. So I'll just read it as it is. However, the question is, after reportedly fearing the crisis which led to their refugee status, where you visited to refugee camp really about the Liberian people, or to paint yourself as a savior in a furtherance of your political agenda. I do not believe you or anyone else who did and visited with the victim in Burundi camp and other refugee settlers now deserve more than other Liberians to be rewarded with the Liberian presidency. Or in your case, to continue to be president in spite of the increasing evidence of disappointing and failed leadership of our country. As president, it will be my sole duty to ensure that no Liberian will ever feel a need to become a refugee or to run from their own country because of concern for their personal security. So it's not happening right now. So why would you even connect that here? He's a president. He's been president for 5 years. Who you see running away in Liberia, Commission? It's going downhill, folks. Yeah, my interest is going down. Okay. My interest is going down. No, I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased. As he said, far from it, far from it. If he's saying here that first of all, he's saying that Dr. Weah contributed to the war machinery, whatever. No evidence. One. Then he goes on to say that Dr. Weah supported the unconstitutional removal of Cummings, of Taylor. Since when Taylor removal become unconstitutional or constitutional? You guys gonna have to at least look at it seriously. Don't just. I know many of you are highly educated, and you're not supporting blindly. So if something is wrong, say it. Okay. Having visited Burundi and now as leader, okay. This, therefore, is why when your party representative threatened to make opposition, okay, disappear rather than applaud such provocative and dangerous comment made in support of you and your presence as president of all Liberians with the duty to protect all Liberians, you should have publicly and immediately chastised him. Unfortunately, you did not, and by your reaction, made such expression and possible follow-up action against peaceful Liberians exercising their constitutional right to democratically oppose your failed leadership, saying acceptable. It is not acceptable. Mr. President, it is wrong and undermines the security and peace of our country. Mr. President, congratulations on your previous appointment as Goodwill Ambassador of UNICEF. It is true that leading athletes like you, David Burton, Leo Messi, and other celebrities had asked to use their fame for international advocacy and cause. However, as you know, it is not the policy of UNICEF to request their Goodwill Ambassador to suspend their work, or not to provide travel and daily substance. This is baby talking small children substance allowance to their Goodwill Ambassador when they travel to represent UNICEF, as you seem to suggest. You also cannot claim to have suspended your career when the records show that after you become Goodwill Ambassador in April 1997, you continue playing for AC Milan in its 1997-1998 season, including your November 9, 1997 Serie A Round 8 game between AC Milan and versus Bristol or whatever the name. In 1988 season, when and then did you suspend your career? Mr. President, I am not a sport celebrity. I am a global business leader. I have never been a universal Goodwill Ambassador because I am not a celebrity. However, I believe in honesty, discipline, accountability, and hard work, which are missing from your 5-year leadership of our country, thus taking us backward rather than forward. I am therefore compelled to oppose your presidency, even if I applaud your previous service as a universal ambassador in Nigeria. What is, however, disappointing is your reported involvement in another crisis shortly thereafter, 1999, 2000. As you may know, Mr. President, many come to politics to achieve self-ends by attempting to recount your past as you did and not your current stewardship based on which you should be seeking re-election. Your letter leaves the sad impression of one who believes our country owes him the presidency or some unpaid debt, for which, despite his present failure, he should be permitted to continue in order to collect his payment. I happen to believe that whatever we have become together, we owe to God and to our country. And so it is us who should repay to God and our country so that others may benefit and have the chance to do better than us rather than have our country repay us. Mr. President, whether it be supporting, whether it be support learning institution or people in need, I have never tried to politicize, public side, or gain any personal or professional advantage from helping the Liberian people when I have done so. And as I continue to do so, I do not principally because I cherish God's blessing and do not believe He has blessed me to dishonor or disrespect others by exploiting my kindness extended to them in need. I will continue to follow this path, which I believe to be right. However, be assured that I have done more charitable work for our country and people than you will ever know. Than you will ever know. But for the record, I have contributed to our country and people in the area of education, health, self-drinking water, youth and women empowerment, entrepreneurship, etc., in the tune of over 5 million United States dollars, asking the country to ignore your current failure, as you seem to imply, by remembering your kindness of yesterday so that you get undeserved re-election is it's like a child asking the teacher to pass him, although his performance and grades do not allow it, only because few years ago he drew water for the instructor. Your performance does not allow for any 6 years of Liberian presidency. Mr. President, and our people know it. That is why, standing on the shoulder of the millions of Liberians who deserve real changes in our country and improvement in their life, we humbly accept your challenge to meet you at the ballot box in 2023. We are determined and committed to do so, not because we hate you, Mr. President, or have forgotten the joy you give by your soccer exploits, but we must do so because we must rescue our country from the bad governance. We need a reset of our nation's course towards unity, equality, and shared prosperity. This is why we will meet and defeat you at the ballot box in 2023. And make your failed and disappointing leadership a one-term presidency. Please accept, Mr. President, the assurance of my best regard, and should you ever desire a public debate or a meeting on any of the issue I have and will continue to raise, please feel free to name the place, date, and time, and I will be there. Liberia deserves better. Liberia deserves better. Sincerely, Alex Comey. Yeah, man. Coming put Gary in my post saying my Gary here this evening. But anyhow, that is the reading. That is the reading, folks. I want to thank all of you again. Those of you that have been out here, thank you, thank you. Let me strictly go out. And okay. Yeah, you know, sometimes we come to these things hoping that we will be above phrase, above everything else. But I'm shocked to see an intellectual like Comey who stood that low. I'm not here to defend the president. I don't know him. I've never heard him being, and I've been involved in a lot of stuff. I've never heard the president being involved in the war effort. All I know and all I heard is that he has gone to the refugee camp. But my disappointment here this evening, my regret, not disappointment, regret this evening with Comey's statement is when he made these alleged state pronouncement about Dr. Weah being involved without any proof whatsoever. I know we can have a political discourse. I know we can have a political debate, but people die. 250,000 Liberians die. So this is not something to play with. Perhaps Kumi will have come out to say, your refusal to establish the war crime court is perhaps kinds of uncomfortable for me, and your refusal to allow Liberians to have their own say into this war crime court business is disappointing. I think those are the comments. But for you to say, they say you're going to be president of the Republic of Liberia, and you're depending on they say you're going to be president of the Republic of Liberia, and you're going to be dealing with the international community. Now you are complaining that the president is not fit, but yet now you're going to come out and say you're going to depend on they say to make a statement of his involvement into war. So even if he did, and I don't know that. I've been around for a while, and I've been around, and I know some of the people deeply involved in the war. I know many of the players. It's the fact that I'm from Grand Jide County. I know many of the players. I can say that much, okay. And I've been around. I have my brother killed across the bridge, Robert Toll, the guy who used to sing Mighty Barrow. He got killed by Prince Johnson and his people. So I'm not here to sympathize with anybody who they say is responsible for the war. But let's be factual. You're seeking the presidency. You have, once you're elected, you will have the power to establish a war crime court. And if you believe that the president is involved in these things, once that court is established, you can bring those up, pass that information that you have, pass it on to the prosecutor, and let them bring him to book. But now for you to politicize, you say you don't want to politicize anything, but then for you to politicize the wonderful, wonderful conversation that you were having with the president, for you to come and politicize the war, I thought that was way below you. You're too good for that. You're too better than that. These are things you do when you lack any kinds of resources. In other words, you are unable to respond effectively, and not in your case. You have so many material that you could have gone to. You have so many materials to go at the president. Instead, you decided to go in with the war situation, and that deflected my process of being high on it. So anyway, folks, Samson told Liberian Public Radio, I want to thank all of you. Let me know to many of the few that are on here. Let me go ahead and open the line. And let me know if I'm only going to be here for another 5-10 minutes at most. Give me a call, 916-533-2048. And, it was a good reading. It was a very good reading until Kumi came out and through. So, anyway, give me a call, 916-533-2048.
Oh,
Samson to Labron Paduro. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, hello.
Yeah. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Man, it's Simon from Virginia.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. What's on your mind, sir?
I just started your show a couple of minutes ago, but I listened to gist of the letter you read. I think we as Liberians have to be careful with some of these new politicians. You might not like Josh Weir, but if you want to go, if you want to vie for the presidency, that's your constitutional right. But when it comes to the civil crisis in Liberia, what that guy did, he has no link to any warring faction. I think he's just reaping the many blessings, and the things, the blessings, reaping the blessings, things that he did for the people. I think Comey is making a big mistake. And when you listen to Comey letter, what he accusing President Weir, these are the things that Yeke Koruba can just stay on the street and just say that of her. I think Comey is listening to Yeke and he's taking more advice from Yeke. I think Yeke is his advisor, because what he wrote about President Weir during the Civil War is not different from what Yeke can be saying. So he need to go back to his base and put his housing up, because he's shooting himself in the leg. Honestly.
Okay. Are you there? Go ahead. Are you there? Finish your statements to the next.
Just move on. After people will hear DP, without any kind of legal evidence. It just went after people.
James, just hold on. Let him finish, and then you can come in, please. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
So, finally, let me tell Mr. Comey that his allegation against President Weir is completely disgraceful. It's sad because this is the guy who stood for Liberian people during our civil crisis, and he continues to stand for Liberian people. There is no government on this earth that is free from corruption. While it's true that we are against corruption, we want to fight corruption, but there is no government on this earth that is free of corruption. Every government is corrupt. So to what level the government is corrupt? And I think the president is doing everything possible to fight corruption. The fact that the president was the top of the 3 government officials and pending investigation, that's a big step towards the fight of corruption, and we should commend the president on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Davis, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say something that, Liberia, when we for you, whether you do the wrong thing, you do the right thing, we still support you. And that's what's carrying the country wrong. Because I see some comments on your Facebook that Joe Weir was helping people, Liberian was dying. But Liberian forget to know when they're singing the song Monge Kanda. They didn't know that they want to die. When they were electing president, he came and will vote for you. What happened when they killed themselves? They weren't going to vote for them. So all that thing, nobody was responsible for anybody. We ourselves were responsible for our own death in Liberia because we embraced it. Yeah, it's kind of everybody supported one way or the other. That what happened in Liberia. So I can't hold Comey responsible. I can't hold Joe Weir responsible. A lot of people always say Joe Weir go to refugee center. I recall, I didn't see him there. I don't see him in Guinea. I don't see him in Sierra Leone. When they got him, they say he went there because his mother was living there. So all the things I'm going to say, Joe Weir, they say evidence, where Joe Weir evidence that he supported people in Ghana. Where the money, where the money, but where the bank receipt. So if he Comey make a statement that Joe Weir support the war, maybe they're coming out. The best thing to do, they're coming to provide evidence. But we can't just prejudge and say, Comey not get evidence. How do you know you don't have evidence? The man's a politician. He's the head of a political party. So when you bring the evidence out, maybe you know what he say. Me, I will not doubt it. When you show me the evidence, then I will believe it, but I will not believe it until you show me the evidence. So it does not mean that I should condemn me. No. Maybe you get the evidence. I want to put it out. Because they like, you get called for front come out of maybe that's true. They know one another. They managed to fight from rebel group to rebel group. Maybe we're happy. You don't know. Some of his brother might be fighting from there or there. Some of his brother might be on the other side. Maybe they know. They told him. It could be true. So, if we say evidence, Joe Weir get right to go to the court. and carry on what they call. What they forget to know that is John we are served in the Ellen Johnson government. He graded Ellen Johnson 80%, coming graded Ellen Johnson 50 or 65%. So here John we are coming the statement John we are made was it right? Because one John we are will support John we are because one comment will support comment. No, it shouldn't be what I call. That's what you understand. Not waiting. We're saying the truth. We're not saying the truth. If anybody get evidence on what they're saying, then they bring it out.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. We got about 2 more minutes. Give me a call 916-533-7048 so that we can call it off. Mr. George, I'm not too sure if you're listening tonight, but maybe we can. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have Mr. George Lobo, Mr. Nathaniel Jonathan DeCalia, and Sissy Wow gonna be my guest here tomorrow evening. The 3 intellectual Liberian. And the tune of the conversation is not going to be like what it is here tonight. I was truly enjoying the reading. I thought, I was truly enjoying it until I came across those things. I thought, it's not like I'm trying to defend we are or saying that we didn't do it. My thing is, if you're going to want to be president of the Republic of Liberia, and I know Comey has that ability, and you're preaching transparency, and you're preaching accountability, but now you're going to come out and politicize the war issues based merely on hearsay, then I think it's as a liberal, I have to speak up. I just cannot continue to, even in as much as I was enjoying the reading. But anyway, folks, Samson told LeBron Paparito, we will be doing more of the, not any more of the reading, but I will be doing the roadway, Ralphie Highway, and I'm hoping to get more information before the week is over, because what they're doing over there is just ridiculous. I want to thank all of you again this evening. Thank you very much. And please tune in tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern time, where these 3 gentlemen will join me, and we will have a fruitful discussion. Remember, all 3 of them are supporting other political aspiration of each of these political everywhere in the country. I've asked to see if any sedition want to join us. If you can still call me and we'll put you on that list. But what we're not going to have is insult. It ain't happening on my show. No way. Yeah, when they're coming tomorrow, we're going to set ground rules. There are certain words that we're not going to permit on this show. So I'm not trying to sanction anybody, but these 3 gentlemen, they have the English language as their command, and they can use other language, other words to still convey exactly what they want to convey. That will be it. Samson told LeBron Paparito, I want to thank all of you again tonight. As Mr. So said, I'm already deep tired. I'm just going to go and drink a whole bottle of water and see, because I got to go to work in the morning. And just hit right now I'm very sleepy, as you can't see. I want to thank all of you guys. Talking plenty, not easy. But this is what we do for you. This is what we do. We want to make sure that we get these kinds of conversations happening. Thank you very much, and good night to you. Bye-bye.